Hi everyone. Long time no see. Anyways, I'm late. Um, but anyways, we're here for our Crafters Classroom paint stroke class. We are super late. I'm late on top of being late. But first I need to figure out if I have sound and video. Okay, I do. And I'm here by myself now. Jenny did offer to stay, but she's been here a long time, so I told her, no, go ahead and go. So I had to like recombobulate my computer, and then my mouse wouldn't work, so now I'm using my finger to switch. So I'm going to go right down to the table, and we're just going to get started right in class right away. And I can read the comments, so I'm going to read comments, but let me go back and switch to the overhead view so we can just get going at it. So, okay, hang on. Yeah, I don't know why my mouse isn't working. Kind of rather annoying. Let's see. Overhead view. Yep, there we are. Okay, you can see and hear me. Will you have time to fix the ink pads, or should I just pay for everything now? I mean, I will have time to fix the ink pad. Honestly, I think Jenny put it away and I can't remember exactly which one it is. She left me some notes. I think it was one of the beginning ones. So I will look at that, but it will not be until at least probably 9 o'clock tonight. So it's up to you depending on how much stuff you got, whether, you know, if you feel like you got a stuff, it's just like $1.50 difference. So if you feel like you bought a lot of stuff and the $1.50 is going to apply towards shipping anyways, you know, it's up to you. But anyways, it'll be about 9 o'clock tonight before I get to that. Is my mom okay? She had her dance thing, and she has been like sick, like on and off for the last couple weeks, something she just can't beat. So she was short of breath and she didn't do her dances, which she was very disappointed and really wanted to do them. I haven't seen her yet today, but I was in contact with people. I was there Friday night, and then she did stay over Saturday. And I talked to the owner of the dance studio, and she said that she was feeling better. So we'll see. You know, I'll talk to her probably on my way home, or I'll stop there on my way home, and we'll see how she's doing. But so she told me she was feeling better too, but sometimes she tells me she's feeling better. I'm on the upswing, and yeah, then she's not. So I'm hoping she's, you know, getting past this, or I'm making her go to see the doctor tomorrow. So anyways, let's get rolling. Hang on, I want to put this out by my coat so I don't forget it. So yeah, somebody at the dance thing told her that she needed to go to the doctor and just, you know, get on some antibiotics because it's been hanging on like too long. So, all right. Let's see, what other comments do we have? You can see and hear me. Battery died, bummer. Oh yes, Jill, I'm glad that you finally got on comments sold too. So it is hard to get, you know, a lot of stuff. And I think there is, somebody told me that they were on their computer, not on the web store, but on the computer on Facebook, and they got more than they usually get. This was the last time, than when they're on their phone. So it all has to do with reception and the speed of your internet, the speed of your computer, so many variables. So, I mean, besides typing and how fast you type and all that stuff. So anyways, let's go on. We're going to be doing these 4 cards tonight, and you can use any colors that you want. This is the only one that has yellow on it. That's more like color specific. So let's see, I want to start with an easy one because it's been a lot. So I think I'm going to start with this one. I am going to use and I only have the things that are attached onto here. So in the kit, here's the paper that came in the kit, and you did get a little bit of foam tape in the kit. If you ordered the complete kit, you also got this stamp set and this die. And like the very, very complete bundle, you got this one, which we won't use in class. And then the complete bundle also had the matching die set for this too, until I ran out of the die. And then you got this stuff as the complete with this, but not the die. We are using these two in class. So you had the option. Some of you had these already. Some of you said I have things similar that I can use, which is totally great. But we're using this stamp set. And if you didn't order the stamp and die, because we are using the die set too, and you're like, darn it, I don't have anything that will work, let me know, because I still have stamps and dies and I can get those out to you. So if you want to get them after, because you're like, no, I really like that now that I'm seeing it, just let me know. You can't, I don't think you can order it by itself online, but I can certainly help you with that. Actually, I think I took the classes down because I sold out. So, okay. First of all, new stamps. Mine aren't totally new, and I'm also going to be using a platform just because sometimes it's easier to line your stuff up on the platform and be able to stamp it once and twice. So I am going to be using my platform. But when you have a new set of clear stamps, you can feel that they're a little bit sticky. And I'm going to watch comments as much as I can. I'm going to watch the comments as much as I possibly can, but I might miss some comments. So I'm going to just write down, because Diana just told me what the melon violet one was, the one that I need to correct. But yes, it won't be until ink pads. Correct. So yeah, just wrote myself a note. I'm going to put it right with my phone. But sometimes when the new clear stamps come, you can feel that they're kind of sticky, and that just has to do with the manufacturing process. So you want to take a eraser, like a red rubber eraser. I use this white eraser, and just kind of, I don't want to say rough them up, but you'll get rid of the stickiness, but you're kind of like the residue that may be from the manufacturing process. But sometimes when they're totally brand new, they'll like bead up, and that's just because of the clear and the nature of stamping with clear stamps. Kind of like when you had red rubber and they were brand new, and they always say you need to season them. Well, that's kind of what you're doing here. You're seasoning your clear stamps. It's just a little bit different. Instead of just stamping with, stamping and stamping and stamping over again, you need to use a red rubber, or I'm using a white eraser, and drag that across it to get the stickiness. And then I still might stamp it on a piece of scratch paper a few times just to make sure I'm getting what I want. So we're going to start with this one. Yep, we're going to start with that one. And what I am going to do is I'm going to actually attach this to my, do I have magnets? My magnets are missing. Well, that's not a good thing. Hang on. I usually have more than one platform at any one time. Here's one. And I found some magnets. So yay. But I'm going to pull this out, and you can use different shades of blue with this, or you can, and actually I might do it on a piece of scratch paper first, but I am going to set this in here, and my stamps are clean. So I'm going to set a couple magnets on here. And then I'm going to lay my clear stamps down where I want them and how I want them. And then I'm going to pick them up. My platform is set to clear. And then I am going to ink them. I'm going to do it on a piece of scratch paper first, but I want to get them set up the way I want them. So I'm going to lay them down. depending on which ones I totally want. So just decide which ones you want. I don't think it matters, but this third one over I'm going to use right here. I might have to place this over a little bit, you know, so I can have enough room for the paint stroke to be on there. Okay, so I'm going to just set those on there. Let's see. And you can do them, they don't have to be exactly the way they are, and you can use any colors. If you're like, I don't want to do it blue, I want to do it all purples, well then you knock your socks off and you do all purple. You do whatever you would like to do. Now on here, some of these were the same, like this one is the same as this one. So these two are the same, but it doesn't really matter. You don't have to do it that way. And then the next two are the same, but I might like switch it up, because I wanted to stamp as many of them at a time as I possibly can. So I'm going to stamp these three, and then I think I'm just going to repeat them. And that's okay. But I'm using the three smallest ones. Or you can do this, if it's easier to ink them with them being further apart, you can do it this way. You know, where you set them up differently, so then when you're inking them, they are further set apart, and then you'll do the opposite ones, and then you don't have to worry about, you know, the size of your ink pad and such. So that's what I'm going to do. And if it overlaps your words a little bit, that's okay too. Okay, so I'm going to pick that up. I am going to take this out of here because I want to use a piece of scratch paper and just stamp it first before, especially because I'm feeling a little discombobulated from the whirlwind of the last few hours that we had. And that's not even my white cougar. So I'm seeing some comments. But I don't know if I'm seeing all of them, so I apologize for that. Okay, and then blues, I have this set and I have this set. I'm pretty sure that it was this set. And you can use, you did get a blue, like you did get 4 ink pads, so you did get a blue. And that was just one of the Impression Obsession ones I had, but I didn't gather my ink pads, and these I have sitting here, so I'm just going to use these. But I'm going to first test it on a piece of white. And in most of the kits, we tried to remember to put some extra white swatches in there, and those were specifically so if you wanted to test your inks, you could. I might have missed a few kits, but I tried to remember to put some extra white in your kits, specifically for yeah, that's nice. So now, if you wanted to make one darker, you could always just re-ink it and go right over the top of it again. Or you can use, see how you get the little bit darker shade? Or you can use a different color from that blue set if you have a set of blues. So, but yeah, if you only have one shade of blue, you can just stamp it multiple times, and that's what's nice about the platform, you know, or a Misty or whatever you're using, is you can just stamp it multiple times with the same shade just to get, or the same, you know, ink pad just to get different shades. Okay, so now I'm going to take this guy, and I kind of have to redecide where I'm going to put it, and then I'm going to hold it in place with my magnet, because I am going to go up and down a couple times. And yeah, so on my sample, you can see a couple of them are darker. Like the 3 that are on there are one shade, and then the other 3 that are on there are a darker shade. So I'm gonna, and maybe I should have done the other 3 first, the middle ones, and then I would have only just had to move my paper, where right now I'm gonna have to move these guys. That's okay. So if you want to reset it up and do the other ones, you know, where your paper is moving down, up or down. I just happen to have tape on my platform too, where I was keeping paper aligned to one edge of it. So that wouldn't have worked for me anyways. So I'm going to move my stamps. A little bit of a pain, but that's okay. All right, well, I might do these a second time, just because it looks a little, I didn't get as nice of an image as I did the first time, which I might then just take a darker shade of blue and do the other ones. Or you could do 5 different shades of blue if you wanted to. You can do whatever you want. They're your cards. Oh, I've never heard of that, to use your Versa mark before you use your colored inks. I didn't even think of that. So anyways, we've got those, and now I'm just going to move these down one. Now, I should probably wash them. I'm just going to go for it in case they happen to move. You know, I should wash them, you know, in case they happen to move it during placement and stuff, but I'm just going to go for it. So there. I'm going to be very careful. Oops, and they moved because they stuck to my fingernails. Okay, hang on. Okay. I'm being very gentle, but they're sticking to my fingernails. There's not too much ink left on these anyways after stamping them. Okay, there we go. I do feel a little discombobulated. Again, I think that's the story of my life. Feeling discombobulated. Okay, I'm going to try going 1 shade darker. And it's up to you. If you want to go darker, if you want to use a different color. Like, I actually like blue and lime together. I think that would be really pretty. Or blue and purple. That one I didn't get too much of even a difference. I might even go a little darker. I'm just going to go for it. All right, here we go. Yeah, this one I can tell is a little bit darker. All right. I have a little bit of give on my tape. Oh, there. Now I got the different shades of blue. That's kind of nice. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to say I'm happy with that. All right. I'm going to set that aside. I am going to clean that off if I happen to have wipes in here, which I do not. So let's see. Hang on a second, because I'm going to use those later. All right. Well, hang on, I've got to go get something that I can clean these with. Probably in my stamp room. Found some. Yay. And it's a new pack. So that means they're not dried out. Which is always a good thing. Actually, I don't even think I'm using these the rest of the class. So, but I'm going to have clean stamps. So I'll take them off and I'm going to put them away. And then we will move on to assembly. So for all of you that joined me for comments sold, that was a lot. So thanks for joining us. Oh yeah, that was a long comment sold. And it went by. It did go by super quick though. It didn't feel like it was as many hours as it was. So let me put this aside and let's go ahead and assemble. Yeah, the time flew by for me anyways. So we are just using adhesive and attaching this to the blue and then the blue to the white scored card. And yeah, I'm probably going to be very quiet tonight when I go home, but it's a puppy party, so the dogs can talk amongst themselves. There we go. On Thursday, while we're talking about this, or while we're not talking about it yet, but on Thursday I am traveling, so I will not be on Thursday night. So there we have our first card. Now I think it would be really pretty if you put some, like a gem right there. Or even, you know, you could do what you wanted, but if you wanted, you could add a little teeny little bit of blue there and a gem. So that would be pretty. All right, so now your envelopes came in the kit just as bulk. They weren't in each individual kit. All right, so now I think we'll go on to this one, which is the flower one. This one does have a color that you're working with, and I'm just going to use a block rather than my platform, just because I think that'll be easy enough. I hope. Let's see. I don't know where my orange ink pads are, but I have my greens here, and I have my yellow, and I am going to look for an orange. Hang on one second. Or I might have to use pink, because I don't know if I have a yellow or an orange here. Oh, actually I do. I lied. I have my oranges. So on this one, and I'm still going to pull out my extra scratch piece of paper just so I can like test my ink pads. Let's see. I'm going to put this one off to this side. Let's see if we can see it. Yep, I'm still going to test my ink pads before I do them on my actual. And where did my whole stamp set go? I just had it here. Oh, there it is. And I also do need a black ink pad for if you want to do the word hello. But let's test first. So this one basically is using just this stamp, okay? And it's like over the top of the flowers. And it's just kind of like you're stroking. Shoo, shoo. So we have the green. I'm going to use one of the two, or maybe both. And I am just going to use a clear block. Now, if you got the die, which I was planning on showing this, but I just don't think I have it in me tonight to do it. If you have the die, you could always stamp this on a separate piece of paper and then die cut it out and mount it on there. You wouldn't get the brush strokey look, you know, off the edges of the image, and that's fine. But yes, if you have the die, you could totally do it where you do it on a separate piece of paper, stamp it in black, and then stamp your brush strokes over the top of it, and then die cut it out and pop it up. I mean, I think I would like that. I just don't have it in me tonight to do that, so I apologize. And I might actually use like two colors. One green. Let's see if I can get a little bit of shading on there, maybe. Yeah, I got a little bit of shading in there. You probably can't see it on camera, but that's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to do it on my leaves. The one thing about just doing it with the block is you can't get a secondary image, like if you did want to make it darker. Yes, you can order another one of this kit without the stamps or dies. Jill, can you email me about that just so I remember? Because I might not. But yes, it's no problem. I do have the paper only kits. I just ran out of the one die for this kit. So yeah. Oh, sale orders. They all pretty much went out except for a few people's that I'm waiting for a die. And I did, or we just ran out of time before the mail came. So I did email everybody whose orders we still have. Otherwise, everybody's orders. And so it's weird because some people are getting notifications that their order's shipped and other people aren't. Why that is, you ask? I have no idea. So, you know, or they're going into their junk. I don't know. Regardless, everybody should be getting their orders soon. And I apologize I took so long. With Brian and I, we had way more sale orders than, you know, it took us a while. Let's just leave it at that. I'm going to clean that off a little bit before I put it, or actually I'm going to use that for my flowers. So I'm going to clean it off. I should have done the yellow first, is what I should have done. Oh, you know what? I just found another thing of wipes. I'd missed it. Okay, I am going to do the yellow before I do the orange, because then I won't clean it between my orange and my yellow. So let's see how my yellow is. Yep, my yellow's good. And I might hit the yellow with a little bit of orange. Which I'm going to hit it one time and then I need to hit it again too, because I'm testing it first. So let's see, my yellow. Yellow first. A little bit of orange. And that's this sucker. And then the next one I'm going to do just in orange. This is not. This is the cougar. So this is just the 80-pound cougar. It is not the paper that you can watercolor on. But in the comment sold sale, there was some of the Royal Ultra White felt that you can watercolor on. So you could, and they were like just a narrower swatch. So I think they were 3 by 5.5, which that would be pretty if you stamped it, watercolored them, and then mounted it over the top of it, because that paper has a little bit of texture to it too. So yeah, I think I would like it die cut out a little and then mount it over the top. But that's just me, and you can do whatever you want with your projects. But yes, Virginia, that's the Royal Ultra White felt is one of the ones that we watercolor with, and that was in comment sold. All right, so I'm cleaning my stamps. That's pretty amazing. I don't always do that. But now we can get the hello off of here. Or if you want a different word, like if you want to save it for a different word, you could put a different word. But I'm just going to stamp the hello on it, because sometimes when I say I'm going to do it later, I don't. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it right away. Okay. All right. There we go. And now this one is just a quick assembly too. I'm going to put my black ink pad back. We do need our black ink pad out one more time, so let me leave it within reach. I am starving though. Oh man, I am hungry. I was busy all day, and then, but now it just hit me that, yeah, Sarah, you're hungry. So if you hear my stomach growling, or if you hear a rumble, that is my stomach. I think I'm going to go home and make a pizza. That'll be quick and easy. So we're just going to attach this onto there, and then we're going to attach it onto the front of the card. We are good to go. If I can find my ATG gun. There we go. So. Yeah, I'll probably stop by my mom's on my way home. Just check in on her. She's probably sleeping, or her cats are not letting her sleep. I actually stopped in on Friday, or twice last week. I stopped into her house to see if her cats would come out by me, and they wouldn't come out by me. But one was closer on Friday, so we'll see if it comes out tonight. Yes, I could definitely use some crackers right now. But I think this is a stamping class, but it's fairly easier, so I hope I'm not going too fast, but I am kind of like, okay, I'm ready to just go home and eat. So not going at super speed, but I feel like I'm going a little bit longer or faster. So we're done with that one. Yay. The next two will probably take a little bit longer. Let's go on to this one. And this one I'm using a stamp platform for sure, because we are going to stamp the lines, and then we are going to attach our die cut, and then we're going to stamp again like our die cut flower. So in here you have your layer for stamping. You have your black and your white, which actually, while I have my tape gun out, I might just I'll wait. I will wait on that, but I'm going to get my stamp platform back out. And I am going to put three different ones on there. And I'll move it so I'm on a flat surface, but for now you're going to put, I'm trying to decide where to put this, where it's not in my way. Or can I get it off of here? Hang on. Yes, I'm taking it off. Oh, there we go. Okay. I do like, let's see. I like to turn my platform to the side, even if, and so then you can either do it this way, or you can turn it and do it this way. But I just like my stamp platform. I like to do it from right to left. And again, I'm going to lay these on there. This one I stamped in black last, so I really have to, I'm going to stamp them once on a piece of scratch paper, because I think I need to clean them off. But I'm just going to lay them on there first. I'm actually going to a retreat coming up, and I'm going to use these on my card, and I'm going to do a black and white. So I'm going to do kind of what I did, why these have black and gray on them. So I'll have to show you all that coming up. Maybe well, I'm not going to be on this Thursday. Maybe I can get my card actually done, and I can just post it during the day as a post. And then my Mingle people will see what I'm doing for my card. But that's okay. These stick to my fingernails. That isn't annoying. Thanks, Diane. I don't know if you just heard me say that I'm probably going to show a picture of my Mingo card this week. Or maybe I'll do, I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll do a Thursday morning live, because I have to get on an airplane at, what time do I have to get on an airplane? I don't know, in the afternoon. So now I'm just going to pick these up. There we go. And I know I said I was going to, and I'm gonna test it on a piece of paper, because I have some, I know I have some gray on here. But yeah, if I can get my act together, yes, maybe I will do a Thursday morning live before I get on the airplane. We'll see. I'm not promising, but I do need to design my Mingle card. And I know I'm going to use these brush strokes. And I don't know that I like, I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to decide what colors to use for this Celebrate. I might not use the pink and the purple. Well, I like the purple, but I might use like the, I think I'm going to do a different. I think I'm going to do that. Maybe. Okay. And so you can do whatever you want. That's my whole point. You can use whatever colors you want. I'm going to test first. I do like the tealy color, and I do like that with purple. Now, when you test, though, it just means that you have to do it twice. And then maybe I'm going to do the green. Let's see. And if I don't like it, well, that's what the test is for. Well, I just know I need to push down a little bit more. And I want to move this one a little bit closer, if I can. This one a little bit closer. Okay, now I am going to go for the gusto. And if it doesn't work, well, you know what? I think I have more paper. My daughter just texted me. Okay. Scared me actually because my phone dinged. I don't know if you heard that or not. Okay, I'm just going to try it. So yes, go ahead and set up your, and we're going to leave our thing on our platform. So set it up, leave it there, because after we stamp it, we are going to attach this right over the top of our stamping, and then we are going to re-stamp it. That's how you get the brush strokes on top of that. If we just attached our flower onto there and then stamped it, we're going to get this like halo-y effect. So that's why we are stamping it first, then attaching our flower while it's still on there, and then re-stamping it. That's the process that we're using. And yeah, I can see that my little do-jobbers are getting it's a little bubbly right there. So I might stamp it twice. I'm gonna see. Or I should have used my my thing on it, my eraser on it again. And I do like my green. So yes, I'm going off script and not using the colors on the sample card. You guys have never known me to do that, right? Now, once I was having trouble, because I can feel my table giving, and once I had trouble and somebody told me to turn it over and do it from the back, and that worked. So I'm just doing that for good measure. Mostly worked. Okay, now I'm going to attach my flower over the top of it. I'm going to use my glue press. So I'm going to drag that off a little bit to the side. I unclogged my glue press, which is a good thing. The other day, yeah, I don't know if you were watching class the other day, it was clogged. Yeah, I kind of like these colors too. They're my, I do like pink and purple, but this is more my jam. This one has a nice, pretty wider lines, so it's kind of easy to use your glue press on. The really thin lines are sometimes hard. Now the next thing I need to work on is April, Crafters Classroom, which I do have kind of what I'm doing, at least for one of the classes. It is a stencil slash die combo. For one of the classes, and then I'm not sure what the other class is going to be yet. And it's a new one from Brass and Bliss that they haven't even released. Actually, he made it just for me. So he has some similar, but different. All right, so now I am going to attach this on there. I'm probably going to take a piece of clean paper and just push so my dirty little fingers don't get it on there. Yay. Now I'm going to re-ink and then I'm going to re-stamp. I did make it, Misty. Yeah, it's been a day. So when we have to put tags on all of the stuff, and put it in the order. It's a whole process. But anyways, if Jenny wanted to come to help me put the tags on, there's no way. Like, we just finished putting tags on before class started. If I would have been here by myself putting tags on, because I do, like when we have, I've even done it with 100 items, but having this many items, there's no way I would have finished it. So she saved me. Along with putting a lot of those kits together. I just kind of released or said, whatever you want to do. And I think she did a really good job putting different color combinations together. And then she was like, how about the ink pads? I think the ink pads match some of these, and why don't we put ink pad colors together too? So yeah, that was kind of fun. All right, here we go. Right over the top, so then it lines up. So now you're stamping on your die cut. There we go. I might even give it one more little push. Actually, I might give this one. I might do the green. I'm really happy with the green, but I might do one more little push for the purple and the blue. Oh, I kind of like it where it comes out a little bit darker on there. Huh. I'm actually going to do the green again, because I kind of like how the purple and the blue, when I gave it one more you know, one more inking, I like how it comes out a little bit darker. I don't know if you can see that, but there. And now I'm going to attach my Celebrate over the top of it. Yay. All right, so let's see. I think I need to use, I'm going to use at least one of those again. So I'm going to use this big one. So I am going to clean it off while I have it sitting there. Probably should have done my other one if I would have known I was going to do purple, but I really didn't know I was going to do purple until it just hit me. But again, I'll stamp it, and maybe it's just stained. Yeah, I think it's just stained. Okay. Oh, and it might not even be that one that I'm using. I think I'm actually using, oh, this is pretty cool. You use all of these. Yeah, it's this one that I'm using. It does scream Celebration, and I like the colors that I altered. But you use all of the stamps, all of the different brush strokes. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going to use this stamp set for my Mingo card. All right, so now I can actually take it off of here. And now I can just assemble. This one I got out for my next card. And let's assemble. I'm going to leave these out because I might be using them. Maybe I'll stick to the colors that are on there. So there is purple. I'll put my green and my blue away. I'm going to end up getting out yellow, pink. I can't even find my green. I don't know. I'll find it. Oh, there it is. I don't need that one out. I'll leave that one out. All right, let's go ahead and assemble. And my Celebrate. So tape on the back of your stamped piece. All right. Okay, and then I'm going to attach that to the card front. Make sure I don't put it on upside down because that would be not good. All right, and then we just are going to do our assemble. Now I might get out my micro dot adhesive. Usually I have it under here. Okay, come on, micro dot adhesive. Okay, Yeah, I just don't feel like dealing with the glue press at the moment. All right, and then my Celebrate, however you want to attach it. And I'm going to turn it over. Give it a push from the back. And yeah, it's not totally sticking because I must have. So now I am going to get my glue press out just to give a couple little dabble do ya on a few areas just to stick it down. Okay, because just at that end. Okay, one more time. Little dabble do ya, stick it down. There we go. Okay, so there's our Celebrate. Yep, I like those colors. Okay, now we are going to go on to our last one. Let me pull that one off of here. So now I'm going to strategically think how I can put this on so I can just move my paper. I don't want to put it too close to that edge. I think if so let's get that kit out. So I'm thinking if I start it in this corner and start it right here with my yellow, then I can just keep moving my paper down a little bit. That is what I am going to do. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start with one of the brighter yellows in the set. And then I'm not sure, then I think I'm going to go on to that one. So let's just pull my colors out. It's either going to be that one or this one. And then it is going to be this one. This one's going to be last. Pink, I think, is going to be this one, but I can always change my mind, you know that happens. And then there was a red one. And yes, I am going to start with my lightest color, which is my yellow. And I have my scratch piece of paper here. I might pull out a different scratch piece of paper. I've got lots of scratch, but I can't find the perfect one that I need. I mean, really, Sarah? All right, here we go. Now, where did I put my little ink pad? Here we go. Yep, that's it. All right. So I'm going to ink my first one, stamp it, move my paper over a little bit, stamp it again with the next one, and so on until I finish all of them. Thanks, Jean. All right. And I'm going to scooch it over So it's slightly overlapping, like it can overlap a tiny bit, or it can be right next to each other. I think I'm gonna let it overlap a hair. It doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna go to the next color, which is from the orange set. And I didn't clean it off. And I might pick a darker orange. We'll see, or I'll stamp it twice. Because this one looks kind of yellowy. Oh no, that one is orangey. Okay, good. Yay. Yay! Okay. And unusual for me, but I'm going to put my stuff away as I'm doing it. Oh, my phone battery is about to die. But we're almost done anyways. And then I'm going to scooch it over again. And then go to my kind of reddish tone. Yes, Jill, that's my email. Or info@thepapercut.com, that works too, usually. I like it. Okay. Then my pink, but do your scooching. Do your scooching. Oh, I got a little blue on my edge. That's okay. If it was perfect, it would be Hallmark, right? All right, then my last one, my purple. And again, scooch first, stamp later. I had to have my son come over and feed my pups because I have Leah's pups too. And Winnie doesn't go past 5. Well, she will if I wasn't home, but she probably wouldn't be happy about it. And sometimes when you don't feed her on time, she throws up. So yes, I asked my son to go over and feed and let out all 3 pups. All right, we're almost done with our stamping. I'm going to pull out my black ink pad and stamp the words really quick first, and then I'll be done with all of the stamping. And then we're just going to die cut the hello and the shadow and assemble, and we're good to go. Putting my ink pads away really quick. There we go. Let me see if I can get that out. Get it cleaned up. There we go. Yeah, I love that brush stroke. So if you didn't get the brush stroke stamp set and now after seeing it, you're like, I really like it, just shoot me an email because you can still get it. So right now, I'm not going to use my stamping platform for my words in black. I am going to practice one time. Got to keep the pups happy. No, I had them this weekend. They were really good. I mean, they didn't get the idea about sleeping in, but oh well. You know what? Sometimes when I'm putting word stamps on there, I'm better off because when I put them on the block, they end up a little crookedy, you know, if they're flimsy. But if you just lay them down and I forget to do that, lay them down and then pick them up, then they're straighter because you just lay it the natural way that the stamp goes instead of trying to lay it on the block. You just lay it down and then pick it up. Then it's straighter and not jankety. Hopefully. All right, done with that. Okay, now in your kit, I'm going to set this off to the side for a second. In your kit is a black card. So we can attach this right to it. And you did get some foam tape in there. And that's just a narrow foam tape to go, you know, behind your words. So you can see it a tiny, tiny bit through the vellum, but otherwise this is a narrow foam tape. So then you can put little bits just behind the letters. So, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, but right now I'm just going to get this out of the way. I still have this kit, Misty. I am out of the other one, but I still do have this kit. So, but it's not online anymore because both kits are connected to each other. So you can email me. All right, so now if you got the Hello die, we're going to die cut that. Take the shadow and you're going to die cut that out of the vellum. And take the hello. I did use this die one time last year in a black and white class and I really liked it. So take the hello and cut it out of the black and then cut the shadow out of the vellum. Oops. That thing is a little tight. Hang on. All right, so I've got my hello. There's that. I love that hello. And then I am going to die cut the shadow out of the vellum. I am going to use my glue press to attach it on. Or if I can find a decent sheet of mustard dot adhesive. Whoops. My plate just fell. There we go. All right. So, I mean, I really wish I had micro dot adhesive that had more adhesive on it. Let's see. But I'll use this. So we're going to attach that on there first. And then we're going to turn it over and just use little bits of the foam tape behind the words. I can. Good night, Jean. Phone is dying. Yep, that happens. I'm ready to be ready to go home. And yes, I can include the kit in your box. Just email me because I won't remember anything tonight. Like if I say right here, yep, I'll do that. Yeah, probably it's out of my brain as soon as I get home. And so something that I can print off would be good. And you know what I'm going to do before I forget? I am going to put my, if I can get this back in there. Yay! Before I forget, look at that. I even did my glue press. I know, I do like my micro dot adhesive. I just need to get some sheets in here that have dots on them. Because sometimes I don't feel like I have a steady enough hand to do the glue press. This time I didn't do too bad. Okay, now we have the foam tape. It is wider than the letters, but it's pretty narrow. So if you put it on there, you know, you'll see it a little bit, but not too much. So don't try and put it on all the way, just put little bits on. Like little squares of it, or even if you want to cut those squares in half. I don't have the energy to cut the squares in half tonight. Because I probably with my fingernails won't be able to get them off. I could pull out a pin. Yeah, my fingernails are a little bit longer than sometimes they are. I've liked them though, with the my Captain America nails. I'm not going to go too crazy on the foam tape. In fact, I think that's, maybe I'll do a couple more. Fine. Yeah, it's a little putsy for me, but that's okay. Okay, one more piece on the E. Especially where the letters kind of connect, then there's a little bit wider of a spot there. All right, that's all I'm doing for my foam tape. You can knock yourselves off. You can make the foam tape narrower. You can put more on. Whatever you want to do. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. Let me bring my cards over. So, anyways, okay guys, I am going to go home and jump on my computer for a little bit and see if make the correction on the one ink pad, see if I need to answer any emails, create any carts, get something to eat, take care of the pups, go to bed, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. Thanks much, guys. Have a great night, and thanks for joining me for the last lots of hours. So that was awesome. Thanks much. Bye, guys.